Hello.
Hi, Brianna.
Hi.
Hi,
This is
Marissa.
library.
Hello.
Yes, this
Okay.
is the library.
Sorry I'm late. I was in another one.
Oh, no, I just joined too, so no worries. You are not late.
So I guess we're adding all the participants.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just checking in with you guys. Make sure you've got, hi Brianna, hi Marissa, that you've got your facilitators and you should have an interpreter. Is the interpreter in the room yet?
Yes.
So Linda, we did a training, Marissa and I, and she's going to help Brianna on how spotlighting the interpreter. I'm so excited you guys are using the virtual Zoom backgrounds that I sent.
Thank you for sending those.
You didn't have to, but I appreciate it.
I couldn't figure out how to do it.
So when the interpreter gets in the room, they will make them a co-host and they will spotlight. You should have two interpreters. You may have a captionist also. We had a captionist in my last session. And talk to the captionist and they will tell you how to activate them. I think that it's something to do with the Zoom bar. You assign them. You click next to them on the participant screen and click more, I believe, and then you just assign caption duties. And then a closed caption button will jump up at the bottom, and so people can have live captions.
Got it.
Oh, okay, so assign to type closed caption. Okay.
If we have a captionist, maybe not. So I just saw Bethany come in the room. She's one of our interpreters. Actually, our other interpreters in the room also.
Hi there. I'm just getting my audio set up still.
No problem. Hi, Bethany. I just saw you.
I can't see your face. Who are we here?
Should I stop sharing my screen or am I okay?
No, you're fine. Okay.
I don't know why my audio is not connecting. There with me.
And then Gabriella is our other interpreter. And so Bethany, how do you guys prefer to do it? Because I've been in two. We're giving you co-host duties and you guys can switch the spotlight yourself back and forth.
Yeah, it was a little rough that previous session. I didn't have much practice with that, but we're good to go this time.
Okay.
Sorry, my audio still.
So Linda, if you would make Bethany and Gabriella co-hosts, then they will be able to take care of the spotlighting themselves, and that's not something you're going to have to worry about.
Okay, so Bethany, I'm making you a co-host.
Thank you. No one.
And I don't, is Gabriella in? Oh, I see her.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and I'm leaving. I have a
Okay, so
session.
I'll make.
Have fun, you guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Susie.
you.
And for Gabriella and Bethany, if I'm talking too fast, please let me know. Sometimes I get going and I don't realize it.
No problem. Okay, there we go. Got my audio figured out.
How were people's breakout sessions this morning? Were they worthwhile? I get a thumbs up.
I hope mine was worthwhile. I was facilitating one, so I hope it was good.
We had a good one. We actually started a Microsoft Teams discussion separately just so we can help each other out.
We had a good one. I thought it actually got emotional, which surprised me, but that was what was really nice. You know, that people they got choked up. It was, you know, about what we're missing from not being on campus, and it was actually quite nice to hear from that, you know, that point of view. So.
Yeah, I was able to get some good tips and learn about different communication tools that some of the faculty are using with their students. So that was cool. Like things like Padlet. I can't remember what there's the other one where they can submit video minutes. I can't remember exactly what it's called. And there was some gaming software too that some of the faculty were using for like chatting and things like that. So it was really good. Hi, everyone. We'll get started in maybe a minute or so. I'm just wanting to make sure everyone, as many people as possible, come in before we start. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Everyone can hear me. I know that I was sort of breaking up a little bit, so I might need to turn off my video. It's telling me my table. So if I do break up, just let me know, put it in the comments and I can repeat something, or I will redo that portion towards the end. There will be a lot of time for Q&A, so if you have any questions, you can type them into the chat. And we have some wonderful people here who are helping. Thank you, Marissa, Brianna, Bethany, and Gabriella for being here and helping and interpreting for me. I see a lot of familiar names and faces, but if I haven't met you or if we haven't seen each other or this previously, my name is Linda Kobashigawa, and I am a librarian here at Fresno City College. I always say here at Fresno City College, really at the college, but you know what I mean. My email is down below on this slide, so feel free to jot that down and have it ready if you ever need to contact me. I'm always monitoring my email, and I try to respond to all emails as quickly as I can. So what I'm going to do today is just an update really about all of the services and resources that I have available to you and to our students remotely. And so it's a lot of what we've done in person. We've just modified it a little bit to make it available remotely. So let me go to my next slide. So the first thing I want to talk about are LibGuides. Some of you might be familiar with LibGuides. If you're not though, they are a content management system that are created specifically for libraries, hence the lib in guides, they're library guides. I put academic there in parentheses because primarily it's for academic use, but there are public libraries and other types of libraries that use these guides as well. LibGuides are sort of like a one-stop shop for resources. They're very customizable. I'm going to walk you through examples of some of the guides that I've created, as well as some of what the other librarians have created. And you'll see the variety in layout and use of LibGuides, and I think they're a lot of fun to create for the librarians, and it's fun to work with faculty to create these guides. They can be embedded into Canvas. And like I mentioned, they can be used for all sorts of purposes. We can include all sorts of content in them, readings, videos, links, documents, all kinds of things. They can, and they are specific to a course or an assignment, or they can be as broad as just giving out suggestions for useful resources in certain subject areas. So we have also broad topics as well. There are a couple of LibGuides that I do want to point out before I actually go in and show them to you. So one of them is the faculty LibGuide, and that is specifically for faculty to use. Some of the information in there can be shared with students, but it's primarily for faculty to go in and get updates about our collection, what's new in streaming video or what new books we've recently acquired and are available, information about course reserves, updates about library instruction and research assistance. I try to keep this guide as up to date as possible. It was a little difficult during the summer and part of the spring when everything was so rapidly changing and we were changing access models and things like that. But I think I've got it squared away for fall. But again, these documents are sort of live documents, or guides are sort of live guides. So we update them as soon as new information is available. So actually, let me go into the LibGuides and show you. Let me go back one because there's a really nice guide that I do want to show you. And this is one that was created by me, but it was created by one of the other librarians, Shannon. She's an adjunct for us. And Shannon creates really beautiful guides. And again, I'll show you a couple of examples, but this is one that she created for children's resources. So we have a lot of students in the Child Development Center who, sorry, I have a cat attacking something on the side of the room. We have a lot of child development students who come in and they have to create lesson plans and things like that based on certain criteria. And so they come in or they would come into the library regularly asking for, books that would support a lesson plan about or diversity and civil rights and health and different topics like that. And so we decided to create this guide that would kind of list out nicely all of the books that they could easily browse that we actually have in the collection. And so here's the link of strangers, and this is just a little carousel that she created with the covers of the books by subject, and you can scroll through and we've got fan topics, children's biographies, civil rights, poetry, things like that. And this is basically just one layout of what an option would look like. You'll see the title over here on the left-hand side, and a lot of the tabs that will show up so you can go through, students can go through that award-winning books, what DVDs we have. We have storytime resources like puppets that we have that these can actually be checked out and used during story time by some of those students who are actually working in the Child Development Center. And so this is just one example. It's very visual based for students to go into. The other LibGuide that I also showed you is the For Faculty guide. So this is the live version of the faculty guide. Again, it's a very different layout, but this is just because we have more information in here. And so we can really customize the guide to however it is going to flow best for students. We can put them, create the guides to make them, sequential. So, you would go from one tab to the next, walking them through certain things. Again, this one specifically for faculty. So you can see it, and everyone can see the guides that I'm showing, correct? I should have checked that first. Okay, perfect. So we have information about course reserves, what you can place on reserve, the Fresno City College copyright policy, OER and ZTC options. And I'll show you faculty select in just a moment because that is a helpful one kind of like a one-stop shop for OER and zero textbook costs and digital rights management free book options, textbook options for courses. And I think it's a nice portal for you to find some of those options that you can incorporate and use in your courses. Again, information about instruction and research assistance. So again, this is all updated for you, and everything has been moved online. So that's what a lot of you can read on the site. To point out this page, which is just labeled librarians. And this is a list of the librarians and our subject area selection responsibilities. So if you have a suggestion for a title that you would like us to purchase, you can go to this page, see which librarian purchases for that area or selects for that area, and talk to us directly. So we all select for different areas, except for fiction and some of the social sciences. We all sort of select for those, but we also have other areas that we select for. Okay. Let me go back to my PowerPoint. So again, those are just some of the guides that we create, and we work with faculty to create them. I've created several LibGuides for faculty that also other students use for their courses, but some of them, again, are assignment specific, so they are tied directly to the assignment that students are working on at that point in time. And it's usually, I pair them with, I pay a visit to the course and to a class period and talk about research, and then the guide is for students to reference after. And I try to mirror everything that I talked about in that instruction session with everything that's in the guide, so that it all fits together and they can use that as a refresher, as something to reference as they move on with their research after the instruction session. We create guides all on their own. They're just, again, really easy for students to access because they're freely available online for them. They just go to this URL and use them. So we also have a research off-campus guide for students and for faculty as well. It has a lot of information about how to contact us, how to access ebooks, textbooks on reserve if they need to do some reading, videos, and some of that kind of technical help that they would need to, what do I need to sign into the databases, and how do I navigate your online catalog, things like that. That's what we point out. And actually, I forgot I wanted to show you all, but you can embed LibGuides into Canvas as well. So you can definitely link to it, provide the links to the guide itself, but you can also embed it into Canvas. And I can show you what that looks like. So let me get into my LibSkills class. We just created a this is one of my sandbox modules that I play around with. And embedding the guides into Canvas is really easy. If you have a specific guide that you want to embed, or just a page from a guide that you want to embed, you can do that, or you can do an entire guide. So what you would do is, when you're in your module that you want to add it to, you would just add. And instead of a quiz, an assignment, or a file, you would add an external tool. And LibGuides is already in this list, so it should be available to everyone. And it's just down here, LibGuides-FCC. If you don't see it in your external tools list, just let me know, and I can send you the information to set it up. But it should be available for every course at Fresno City College. So you would just select LibGuides-FCC, and you can change the page name here now, change it later, it's up to you. So I'll add item, and so this is the item that I just added, and then you would go in and select which guide you wanted to include. I know my computer's a little slow, and it gives you nice step-by-step instructions. So the LibGuides site is, of course, our site, the only one available, so you would select that one. You would select the content type. So if you wanted an entire guide, you can include it in there. You can do, like I said, a single page. You can even put in our databases A to Z list, which I think is also helpful. So if you want to tell students, find, use a database to find articles for this week's assignment, something like that, you can embed our A to Z list into Canvas itself. So it's just the next page over. I'm going to choose a single page. And then you're going to select which guide you want it from. So you might have to go back and decide. I don't remember what the name of the guide is, so I want to include it in here. But I'm going to, I know it's from our Research Off Campus guides, and you can just start typing it in, Research Off Campus. I see it right here. And then you can select the page you want it from. And again, you might need to go back and refer to what page that you wanted to use it for. I'm going to do the home page because I like what the home information the home page has on our Research Off Campus guide. And so I'm going to embed that content. It's going to load up. It's going to take you back to this screen. And then something else that I want to do is actually just want to rename it, because LibGuides, students aren't really going to know what a LibGuide is. So I'm just going to put research help from the library, so that they'll be able to identify it. So once you've selected the guide or the guide page, this is your view, but you can view the content as a student, and it will show you exactly what that guide is going to look like. So this is our page. And so this is exactly what the guide looks like on its own, but now it's just embedded in your Canvas page. So it's just another page in there. They have the chat widget because it's functional on that page. And then all of the links are functional as well. So if they have questions about tech loans, they can click on this link, it will take them there. And then this is all of the different ways to access research help from that homepage. And what's nice about embedding it into Canvas, again, the updates are live. So if I notice the link to the tech loans guide is broken, so I need to go in and fix it, when I go in to fix it on my end in the original guide, it will update into the guide that's embedded in your Canvas course. So you don't have to worry about information changing and it not being updated. It will be updated because it's feeding in from our original guide. Okay. So I'm going to go back. I talked a little bit about the research guide. If you want me that in a little more detail, I will go back in there. So some of the newish, or actually some of this is not new. We're just offering it in a newer format. So we do have a virtual reference desk. I have the reference desk hours for fall up here in this yellow box. Again, no appointment needed. It's just following the same format that we used when students would come into the library and stop at the reference desk to talk to a librarian. No appointment needed. They just come in and ask us questions, and it's all available via Zoom. So students can just come in and ask us a question and get help, and we can share our screen and make annotations and do remote control. We have all of those functions and use the chat option as well. And that link is available on site. We are also continuing our RAP program online too. We had moved pretty quickly online back in March and just continued to do that during the summer, and we'll continue to do it for as long as Laurel's with us and for as long as the library's standing, I guess. We'll do it online for as long as we need to. We might even continue doing it online even when we do go back face to face. The RAP program has worked out actually really well online. Students, we can save our chats with links in them and different things, or record the session that we're working with students on and send that to them so that they can reference later on. So it's actually been a good service to move online. So that's been helpful too. And we also have webinars. So many faculty used these during the, towards the end of the spring and also during the summer. And I had a lot of fun doing them. And Laurel and some of the other librarians were also doing these webinars. These are, they take about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, just depending. And we cover pretty general overviews and demos of how to use EBSCOhost, how to use Google Advanced Search features. We had one that was an intro to all of our library resources. So we had quite a few students attend those. They found them really helpful. They are very general sessions, and we already come in with examples that we usually use. Of course, if a student has a question, we'll definitely answer it during the webinar. But these are kind of like pre-scripted webinars that the students can come in and take part in. These are available on our Research Off-Campus guide as well. So you would go here to this link, and there's a tab that says webinars towards the bottom, and that's where our schedule will be for all of those. We schedule them in advance. We don't have any up for fall just yet. We're still working on the schedule, but we will have some up. And we may also have different topics as well. And if you have a suggestion for a topic that's broad enough, we try to keep it broad enough so that students in class can come in and find it helpful. Then let us know, and we can see if we can work that into our schedule. But we might have things like how to use opposing viewpoints, something like that. So to get a little more specific with the type of resource that we're showing. If you want something that is specific to your course and to your assignment instruction that is specific to that, contact me. Are still doing those BIs or library instruction sessions. So if your course is meeting synchronously, so live in person, we can pay visits to your course. I do ask that it's directly related to an assignment that students have already received or are already working on, just so we can make it as relevant for them as possible. I can also record a session and send that recording to your students, or we can do both a live session and record it and make that recording available to students who weren't able to attend. So that's also an option. And that link to request library instruction is also on the faculty LibGuide. But if you need the link, I can post it in the chat, or just email me and I'll send it to you. Okay. So this is actually the direct URL to that page, and that also has information about RAP sessions with a link that you can share with students for students to request a RAP session, and also has information about our Canvas tutorials. But if you do want to request any library instruction, this is the link you would want to go to. And again, it's just in that faculty LibGuide. Okay. And then the last thing about research that I researched support that I want to share is our tutorials and Canvas, brand new. I was working on them over the summer. I was able to adapt some modules from another amazing community college library in California, where the librarians just put so much work and effort and research into creating these research tutorials, and they were graceful enough to let other libraries adapt them. So these are research tutorials in Canvas. They are self-paced. They are specifically for students to work through research, basically the research process, getting to know the library, getting to know how to use some of the resources that we offer. They take about, I estimate 30 to 40 for students to complete, but again, they are self-paced, so they can really take as much time as they need to if they want to get a couple of the pages or activities done in a module and then come back to it later on. It's a course that they have to enroll in, but you can assign for extra credit or for credit one of the modules or multiple modules. Students, once they, there's a final quiz at the end that they have to score 100% on. And once they do that, they can request a certificate of completion. I'm working on badges. They'll be able to get badges soon. But for right now, they can request a certificate of completion. And that's just to verify that they completed the module. And the modules that we have up right now are these 5 that are listed here. So one's intro to the library, just, you know, what we do, what services and resources we mention, different things like that. An intro to research and getting started with research. We have one specifically for our OneSearch catalog, which I actually found really helpful. I actually had a guide that was for OneSearch, and I actually took some of what I found in the research tutorial and included it in my guide because I thought it was so helpful. So that one's all about how to use OneSearch to find books and more, and use that. And then we also have one for evaluating and selecting sources. Those are all up, and students can enroll using that link at the bottom right now, or actually when school instruction begins. And we do have a few that are coming soon. I'm going to be working with the Writing Center to work on some of these because they have some really great resources for citations and avoiding plagiarism and things like that. So that'll be coming soon in the next few weeks. And oh, well, I can show you what these look like actually. So I can go back to my the course add in your dashboard. There's an image of the library there. Okay, so this will be the landing page that that students will see. And of course, if you tell them, okay, I want you to do modules 1, 2, and 3, or just modules 1, they can go directly there and start it. If they want to see what's included in the module, they can just go to the modules option. And you can enroll as well and work through it. They do have to be completed in sequential order, so you can't really skip around, but you can just go through quickly just to see what we have in the modules. And so this is the intro to the FCC library. We have overviews that state, you know, these are the outcomes for this session, outcomes and objectives. This is what you'll do in each of these. And so they'll just go through all of these, take the quiz at the end, and then complete the form for the certificate of completion. And so that's what each of these modules include. And so some of them have activities in them. I'm trying to incorporate a lot more videos and interactive elements. There's a lot of text right now, but we're trying to make it a little more dynamic. Okay. So let me go back. PowerPoint. Sorry, I know I'm switching back and forth a lot. Okay. So collection updates. So I know faculty probably have questions about tech loans. And so right now, as of this moment that I'm speaking, we do have laptops, iPads, and with keyboards and mobile hotspots available. I know we ran out of hotspots for a little while, and then we got some more in, but at this moment, I have not heard anything to the contrary. So we should have all of these materials or all of this equipment in, as well as the graphing calculators, and students can request those now if they don't want, and they don't want to wait until Monday or the first week of classes to request those. The link they would go to request those are tech loans. So that's also on a LibGuide. And it's fresnocitycollege.libguides.com/tech loans, and instructions are all there. The hours that they can pick up are all is on that page, as well as links to the forms to request the graphing calculators or the other technology. So again, they can do that now. You can share this link with your students if they're asking about how do I get technology, or I don't have reliable Wi-Fi. So that's a good resource for you to share with them. We do have, again, basically the same amount of collections. We haven't purchased really anything new. We still have a lot of ebooks. Print books are available upon request. So students can, and faculty and staff can request a book that we have in our physical collection through the online catalog. Jamie and I think at the library will call you or email you and let you know when it's available and when you can come pick it up. So we are doing kind of like, it's not quite curbside, but we are doing checkouts for print materials at this point. We are not checking out textbooks at this point because of their limited availability and their high demand. So we aren't checking them out, but students can request some to have some pages scanned and emailed to them. And that is sort of just to help until they are actually able to get the either an electronic copy or a print copy of their textbook. So it's sort of like a leeway padding area of this is, if you haven't gotten your financial aid yet, or it's stuck in shipping, something like that, then this will give them a little bit of time so they can do their reading before actually getting the textbook. So another thing that I did want to point out is faculty select. So I pointed that out a little bit earlier, a few slides ago, but faculty select is a really helpful resource for finding OER and zero textbook cost materials. So OER is, those open educational resources that you don't need a license for. Students do not need to purchase. They're available online. You can make edits to them. You can download and share as much as you want. Zero textbook costs are, I say they're more of what the library can offer you. So there's still like copyright and protections around the course, but they don't cost your students anything to use. And any library resource that comes in our subscription would count as zero textbook cost. So it's a nice way to make materials available to students without having them purchase anything. And what's nice too is it's already available in the library, so you don't have to purchase anything either. It's already there. And so faculty select is a way to do that. And I'm going to switch my screen one more time to go in there to access faculty select. So you can actually, it's also available through our faculty LibGuide. I think I have served, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so there's a section, have you thought about OER and ZTC, and faculty select link is there, but we also have links to some of these other OER options too, like OpenStax, OER Commons, Merlot. Faculty select, what it does is it's really just a portal from EBSCO, so the interface will look very familiar, but it collects all of these, or actually it indexes all of these OER titles and also DRM-free materials. And so when you search, you are searching all of those OER collections that are included in a lot of these separate portals, and also DRM-free. So DRM-free is digital rights management free, which means there's no restriction on how many students can use the book at the same time. How many pages they can download. They can download the entire book if they wanted to. They can print as many pages as they want. They can email as many pages as they want. And for a lot of these, if we purchase it in perpetuity. So we would own it for forever, basically. And so DRM free is really a useful one, a useful way to go. If you can't find anything that's totally OER, DRM free is a good resource. So I'm going to continue onto this portal, and like I said, it's EBSCO, so the interface is going to look very familiar. And if you're familiar with EBSCO, it's really easy to navigate. And so you can just start typing in your subject, your topic, and you can focus by the access rights again. So if I want to do like small, I'm going to do small business management and do a search for all books that are related to small business management. And so it's finding quite a bit. It will show you, again, title, author, year of publication, the subject terms to, you can preview the book. If it's a DRM free book, we'd still have to purchase it. So you can request us to purchase it, but again, once we own it, there's no cost for students to access it or anything like that. And you would get a direct link to the book, but you can preview it and just to see if it's something that that would work for your course. There's also OER that's included in here, and so those are the ones that do not say request a purchase. Those are the ones that just say preview or adopt this open ebook, which means it's openly available, it's ready to go. You can click on the link. I forget if it takes you, it might tell, and then you would find the direct link to the OER. So I want to preview this ebook. And the preview is basically the link to the book. So you would be able to share this link, or the actual site might give you the link for you to share. And that's also how students can read it too. So you can read it as a PDF or online, look through the different chapters, things like that. So Faculty Select just gives you one place where you can find OER and DRM free books. You can limit by publication date. You can get a little more specific with your subject areas and search for specific titles, specific authors, things like that. Okay. So let me see if I'm at the end of mine. I am, and I'm sure there are questions because I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. So if there are questions, please. Okay, so I see Laurel saying, can I go back to the library webpage just to show where all the pages are in context? Yes. Is there a specific page, or do you just want me to go through, show you where things are? So I know it's changed. Let me go to our webpage. So we did change the webpage quite a bit. So we knew that technology and equipment was going to be in big demand. So there's a big link right up top. So you can send students here, go to the library webpage, or send them, again, this direct link. And that will take them, and I actually didn't show the technology page, so let me show that really quickly. So this is all the information about tech loans. This is about our fall technology checkouts need to take. So they need to request a calculator or a laptop, MiFi, or iPad. These are their request user agreement forms. And then if they need to, they will need to make an appointment to come in. The appointment scheduling tool is really easy to use. They just sign in, I think it's their ID number and like a date of birth, and then they can go through and choose within like the next week when they can come in, and it's all through SARS. So somebody in the library is monitoring that. I think there's also a link to the scheduling tool in these forms as well, so they don't have to come back out to this page, or they can just call us. If they're having trouble making it on the form, they can just call us, and we try to make that a little easier. And if, okay, of course, if they have questions about technology returns, same page, we show them how to make returns. Hours in contact, I tried to break everything up to make it easier. This is our link to talk to a librarian on Zoom. This is our virtual reference desk. So students would just click that link during these hours and they'll talk to us directly via Zoom. We do have something I did not show you. So thank you, Laura, for suggesting that I walk through this, is quick answers. So students can contact us in a variety of ways. If they go to our quick answers link, we have a lot of FAQs on here. I do realize I need to add something about technology, so I'll add that and probably put it up here. But we do have frequently asked answers to frequently asked questions that we get. A lot of them are irrelevant at this point, like how do I print from a computer in the library, things like that. But they're all here because we did get a lot of questions about them in the past, and we'll hopefully get those same questions when we come back. But we also have a lot of links for them to contact us. And so this link, Contact the Librarians, will list all of us out with our email addresses. They can text us as well, so they would just text directly to this phone. Again, they can call us, they can email us too, and we all have access to this email. And then here's the link for a wrap session. I found, and I was talking about this in the breakout session for the Zoom Bee Apocalypse, that we get a lot of text messages and emails and chats. Zoom is not so big, and I don't know if that's because we have, they have quick questions that they just want to text really quickly, and it's just convenient because they have the phone with them. They enjoy like the more text-based, or they use the more text-based options rather than Zoom, which I found kind of interesting. And then of course our chat widget here. And so the thing with chat is it is available 24/7. Chat, they will always, whenever someone uses chat, you will always reach a librarian. However, it's not always staffed by Fresno City College librarians. So we do put a lot of information in the chat so that the librarians who are working the chat, and some of them come from the UK, Australia, some of them come from here in California. It just depends. It's a whole worldwide cooperative. But they're also, they're very knowledgeable and they're really helpful as much as they can be. So students will, if they ask a question in chat and it's specific to something at FCC, their library account, things like that, they'll have to refer them to us. And so the students will eventually respond to them. But so chat is really like, how do I find this database? Or, can you help me start my research project? Things like that, and that's what the chat librarians are really helpful for. But again, if something needs to be referred, they're really good about referring some of the chats, and we get the whole transcript, so we can see what they've already done, and we can start off with that and contact the student after it. Most of the time it's staffed by a cooperative librarian, not one of us. But again, it does get referred back to us if that librarian can't answer the question thoroughly. So I'm going to go back to the page, and we've tried, eventually I want to put a search widget on the front, just a search bar, so students can really quickly just search in our OneSearch catalog. I haven't gotten the widget figured out quite yet, but hopefully you can put right up here at the top. But for now, we have cool little buttons. So find and access, this is our OneSearch catalog for books. Articles, this will take you to our list of research databases. Information about streaming video, or actually links to our streaming video databases. And information about textbooks on reserve are here as well. And then of course we have options for research help. So we do have links to all of these things: library webinars, requesting a wrap session, the list of research guides that we provide, another link to the Zoom reference desk. So if they didn't see the one up top, they can go to this one down here. And then we also link to our for faculty guide. So some of it's a little repetitive, but the more places, I think it is, the more chance somebody will see it. And then of course we have our chat widget down at the bottom. Okay. I hope I didn't scroll through that too quickly. Are there any questions in the chat?
Linda, it looks like you've got two specific questions. Do you see them?
Okay. No.
What is the easiest, and
Let me see.
one from Bethany and one from Chris Call.
Oh, I see. Okay, so what is the easiest and most accessible way to post streaming video on Canvas pages? Okay, so it depends on the streaming video platform. So Films on Demand, if you're using a Films on Demand, you can always link out to the video that will take you directly to Films on Demand, but you can embed Films on Demand videos into Canvas. There is an external tool for that I believe is already embedded into Canvas. So do I have my, hold on. Okay. So actually let me go in. It's just like embedding a LibGuide. So can everyone see my screen still? Am I still sharing? Okay. So you would just add an external tool, and then Films on Demand should be in here. So there it is, Films on Demand. Oh, there are two of them. Okay, which one do I want? I think it's the second one. And you would search, and this, again, this is specific to Films on Demand. You would search the title that you wanted to preview. Let me see. Did I spell Chernobyl? 1 minute. Okay. Hope they cut that out of the recording. Okay, so you would find the video that you want. The thing that's kind of, for lack of a better term, annoying about Films on Demand when you search in here is that it will show all of the segments of the video and not the entire video. So you can go up to Format and just choose, I just want the titles, and apply that, because I don't just want a 30-second clip from Chernobyl. I want the entire series or film. So then if you change it to titles, it'll show you results of the full titles, not the individual sections. And so you can embed it into, you could do the URL again, which will link out to the video and Films on Demand, and that Films on Demand does have the transcripts, and they are closed captioned. So so you can link out to that, or you can embed it into the Canvas page, and this should be good. And again, you can change the page name and add the item. And let me see if I can preview it. And so the film will be directly embedded, and this should have when it starts playing the options for closed captioning. You won't have the transcript here, I don't think. Let me see in settings. Maybe it does, and I just don't know about it. But if you want students to have like the full transcript of it, or to follow along with closed captions availability, then the easiest way would be to link out to the video in the database itself. Does that answer your question, Bethany?
Oh, can I talk real quick? No, that's right.
Yeah, sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say that so I was trying that, I've been doing it a few times, and either when I link out or embed, no matter, I can see the whole film, but it only puts a sample on. Is that because when students go in and click on it, they need to log in? They can't look at it directly on my Canvas. They have to log in somewhere? Because it would only provide the sample. It could never show the whole movie on a Canvas page.
Oh, okay. Let me look into that, because I hadn't heard that before.
I just want to be able to give them clear instructions so they don't.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Then yeah, if it's some issue with Films on Demand specifically, then I'll have to send something into them and say it's not it's not working correctly in Canvas. It might be something with our proxy, but if they're signed in, to sign in again. But if you can provide the direct link to it in Films on Demand, you know, if there's an issue, they can just watch it directly in Films on Demand, and the only thing they'll have to do is authenticate with their My Portal username and ID, and they can watch the entire film through our subscription.
Okay. Is that true for
So
Alexander Street?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's true for Alexander Films on Demand, and also Swank. The direct links to those videos, all students should need to do is log in with their portal username and ID, and they should be good. They should be good to go. Okay, Chris, I see. Would it be possible to tutorial on the comments so that we can add that module into our classes? Oh, yes. Absolutely. I can do that. I'll make a note.
Yeah, there is one in there. It's just, I think it's from like 2017. So it's an older version.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, these I just created this summer. So yeah, I will, I'll add those to the comments so you can embed them. Is that what you're trying to do? Just put them directly in your course?
Yeah, I use all the library stuff a lot, so I think that'd be a good resource for my students, even if it's just extra credit for them.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that's sort of why I created some of these things, because I know it's, I don't know the percentage of synchronous courses versus who's doing asynchronous, but we just realized it's going to be a lot harder to pay visits to courses, and so these are some things that will hopefully help you make it a little easier to help students with research, the research process. Okay, I'm looking at the comments. Oh, cool. Oh, the embedding didn't work for you either. Okay, let me call somebody at Films on Demand and ask them about it could be the way the external tool was added to Canvas, because I think Canvas has its own Films on Demand tool embeds. It's not something through Fresno City or the district. It's there. So, oh, okay. So Diana's asking, does the library have any way of archiving coronavirus diary work produced by students? We could. That's not something that I don't know if anyone's talked about. Do you know, Laurel? But
we should talk to Donna Chan just to put it in our archive.
Yeah,
in charge of the archive.
Yeah, and we could have someone digitize it too, like Mua. That would be a really good idea. And actually, our dean just sent us something about a grant that's being worked on at Fresno State, and they were asking us about archives. So that might be something to throw out there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I had a class last semester that taught storytelling. It was a photojournalism class, and they worked the last half of the semester documenting their own experiences. So I thought that was they came up with some kind of interesting stuff. And I read online that a lot of colleges were actually archiving it because it's pretty historical.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just making a note to myself. No, I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. And that's probably something we should be documenting. Yeah, thank you for that suggestion. You know, I can email.
Okay.
Yeah, Handler. She is in charge of our archives and special collections. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Do you want to go
And
through some
you
more?
can unmute yourself and ask.
Linda, do you want to go over some of the other unique databases?
Sure.
I mean, I was
Let
just
me
thinking
go in.
maybe Noodle Tools, maybe that might be something of interest to instructors to know that we have Noodle Tools.
Yeah, Noodle Tools is it's a really useful database. Let me see if I remember my login so I can show you how it works. It's in our list of research databases. So articles, research databases button, and it's spelled exactly the way I'm saying it, Noodle Tools. It's one word though. And so Noodle Tools is really helpful for creating citations, organizing a citation list, and exporting it so that it's already pre-formatted. It includes the newest editions of APA, MLA, and Chicago. Now I don't. Let me try it. Oh, I did it. Okay. Yeah, that's my profile. So what students would have to do is first, once they click on the link to Noodle Tools, they'll have to authenticate with their MyPortal username and ID. And then they would have to register to create an account. Registration is really easy. It's on that same page, that login page. There's just another option that says register. And so they would just fill out some of that registration information, create a username and password, and then they have access to Noodle Tools from now on, and they can bookmark the page to get to it faster after they register. So you can use it for any project you're working on. When you start a project, so you can start a new project, it's going to ask you a series of questions like what level at, what format or citation style you want to use. You can name the project, select, these are the most popular citation styles, so you can select one of those. We always suggest just select advanced. Select advanced all the time. Because the other two, starter and junior, those are very simplified, and they don't give you access to all of the extra features and options that the advanced version does. So just select advanced every time. And so you'll hit submit. I'm not going to submit it because I already have some projects up, example projects that I use. So your project will upload here. It's nice because it keeps track of things too. So it tells me when I created this and when I last modified it. So actually, I guess I modified it in July. So this is an English 1A research paper. And some of the databases are, they can export to Noodle Tools. So the Gale databases like Opposing Viewpoints and some of the other ones, the reference library, those will export directly to Noodle Tools. So all you have to do if you're logged into Noodle Tools and you are using Opposing Viewpoints and there's an article you really like, you can export the citation and you can choose which product you want it to export into, and it will export it automatically for you. Some of the other databases do not do that. EBSCO does not export to Noodle Tools, unfortunately, but you can copy and paste the citation that EBSCO creates for you into into Noodle Tools, and then it kind of helps you format it correctly too. So it'll give you suggestions on this is what the author should look like. This is what the title of the journal should look like, things like that. So this page is just about the project in general. So you can put in a research question. You can put in your thesis once you have one, and it also updates it, give you a 30-day log of work done on the project. You can provide links if you want to. You can share it. So if you want students to show you a draft of an annotated bibliography or something like that, and they're working in Noodle Tools, you can have them share it with you, and you can see their project in Noodle Tools. So they can turn it on and share it with you. The next option is the sources. So that's where the citations come in. It's not usually this slow, it's just my connection. So all of the options to add sources are in here. My sources will load here in just a moment. I'm waiting to see if I can do source. Okay, there we go. So I have a variety of different source types listed in here. If I want to edit one, all of my options will drop down here on the right. So you can edit it, you can copy it, you can figure out or get help creating an in-text citation for it. And again, it shows students what it's supposed to look like, but it also explains what an in-text citation is, what typically goes in it, what are some other rules for quoting versus paraphrasing versus mentioning the author's name in there. So it gives them a lot of suggestions when there's no author. So it sort of answers all of those, some of those questions that might come up when something's not so obvious. And if you know what page you got the you took the citation from, or enter that in, and it will update it up here so that they know what it's supposed to look like. And so it's a nice tool for students to use to create some of those. If you want to create a new source is up top. And then it walks you through how to cite appropriately the type of source. So where did you get it from? Well, I got this from a database, or I got it from a print book. And then it asks, what is it? So I go through, okay, it's a newspaper article from the database. And so you can put all of these topics in, you can put in the database. If you know it's an EBSCO host database, you can click on it. I got this from Academic Search Complete, so that's the database. We have them already listed, so if it's not one in this list, they can choose it's from my library, and these are all of the databases that we subscribe to, so they can choose CINAHL wherever they got it from. They can include the URL or the permalink, but again, if they don't want to fill out all of these fields, because they're not going to have, depending on the source, obviously they're not going to have all of the information, they can try to do a quick cite, but again, they'll have to check the citation format. And if they realize, oops, that wasn't a database, it was actually a website, they can easily change the source type, and it asks them for slightly different information depending on the source type. So it really helps break it down. And so once they have all of that, and actually let me scroll down a little bit. So they can put in an annotation down here. And if they're creating an annotated bibliography, they'll have those annotations, and I don't have anything to put in there. Well, let me see. I'm just going to copy and paste something really quick just to show what it looks like. Okay. So there's my annotation. I am going to save it. Oh, I don't have a lot of other information. Okay, let me cancel that. Sorry, let me edit one that's already in there because I can't think of any information to input to create a new citation. So if I want to include a annotation into, then your annotation goes in there, you save it. And now it lists out the whole annotation as you pasted it, shows you when you last updated it. If you're all done and you're ready to export it, it allows you to export in different formats. Word is obviously the most, well, not obviously, but it's going to be the most common. So I want to export all of these. Maybe I didn't actually end up using this book, so it's in there, but I don't want to include it in my exported. And so you can export it to Word. And my document is exported. It should have the correct formatting in it, the works cited list, and this is that. This is the annotation that I copy and pasted from our tech loans list with the rest of the citations in there. So it just makes it, streamlines the process just a little bit. Okay, so Melody, did you get your question answered, Melody?
I did, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, Noodle Tools makes it easy. Of course, you know, you don't want them to use it as a shortcut, but we do like the fact that it still sort of forces to think about, okay, why should I include this citation in the in-text, or what does this actually mean? And so I think it's helpful for that. And it also offers more options other than citing. So, oh, I pressed something. Hold on. So the next two options are note cards. So they can go through and use it for sort of making annotations on the article, readings themselves, and also practice with like how to paraphrase something, how to say something in my own words. And so it kind of helps with a lot of different aspects of the writing and research process. So it helps with outlining as well. We can make different note cards. And so for an example, if I want to create a new note card with one of the sources that I just exported, you can do that in here. And it allows you in the project to select which source you are writing with, or you're writing about. And so this is how you would cite a direct quotation. This is how you would paraphrase or summarize. These are some of my own ideas related to the topic. And so it's a nice way to kind of break it down into how to, you know, synthesize and analyze an article and also document it correctly. Okay.
Linda, do you know if there's a tutorial for Noodle Tools? I mean, it has so many bells and whistles. It's just insane.
It does, yeah. I don't want to throw Shannon under, but Shannon Williams is great with Noodle Tools. But Noodle Tools also has a lot of online videos and a help page. So you can go, I think I've just Googled help, Noodle Tools help before. There's an option too in your account to access the help desk, and the URL's up here. And there are instructional videos. There's a link, I think, that shows you how to register. And so it has a lot of things, logins and access. sources and citations. And there are some video tutorials. So creating a new project, sharing your project with your teacher, creating a note card, things like that. So yeah, this is one place to go. There are issues with like account access, things like that, you can probably send them to us or come to us. It might be an issue with the proxy or something.
Thanks. I'm glad that they have a help desk.
Yes. Yeah, the help desk has been really, really helpful. And I actually use it often when I don't know something.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot, like Laurel said, Noodle Tools has a lot of bells and whistles. So there's something that I know I did not cover. So if you have questions, just send them our way. I know we've got like 4 minutes left, right? The session ends at 12:15. So please feel free to ask questions, or if you want to see something else, let me know. Trying to think of another thing to show you, but I know I showed you a lot. Yes, and as Laura put in the chat, Shannon is our Noodle Tools expert. She has extensive knowledge of Noodle Tools. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. And I know I don't have my video on. So thank you all so much for attending the session. I know we're ending 2 minutes early, but again, if you have questions, I am available. Email is probably the best way to contact me. But again, please share our resources with your students. That's why we purchase them, because we want students to use them and find them helpful and help them, create quality work and be successful in their courses. So that's what we're here for, is to help you be successful and ultimately help our students be successful. So again, thank you for attending.